Hi and welcome back. It's Adriana here, and today I'm going to create a card for Couture Creations with the Cut and Create dies. This is a new release die that cuts and creates. You can use it with your foiling machine, the Go Press foil machine, but today I'm going to use it in a different way. No foiling, I'm just going to be using it with pigment inks to create my card. So the first die that I'm using is this one here. It contains three pieces: the frame, the best wishes, and also the beautiful butterfly. Adding to that is the beautiful daisy one and also this beautiful flower. These are all sold separately, and the best thing about them, they can layer them on top of each other so they all work together. So this is the frame that I'm going to use for the outer, and as you can see, those flowers fit beautifully on, and also the butterfly. I've created a couple of extra butterflies as well. So using the Card Deco olive green pigment ink, I'm going to dab all over the Cut and Create die, and this will give the image of, once you place it through your die cutting machine, will give the image exactly where it's all been stamped and inked. So this is the best thing about Cut and Create dies. You can use it through your Go Press foil machine, but the best thing is also you don't have to foil. You can just use it as a normal die. You can emboss with it, but today I'm using pigment ink to showcase the actual design on these beautiful Cut and Create dies. So I'm placing the die on my platform of my Go Cut and Emboss machine. You can use any die cutting machine. You can use a Big Shot. You can use the Go Power Emboss machine. Place the cardstock on top, and as you can see, in one transaction it will ink the image onto your cardstock. It will cut through, and you have a beautiful embellishment for your card. This frame will also be great as a shaker card because it's got a nice frame around it. So that's your base that I've done here. Now I'm also doing the same thing now with the butterfly. I'm using the Card Deco purple or blue purple pigment ink and placing that on my platform of my die cutting machine and running it through. So I did 3 of these to enhance my card. And now I'm doing the flower here. I've added a little bit of the sunshine yellow pigment ink in the center, and then on the outer I dabbed the Card Deco coral around the edges. I also dabbed over the Best Wishes Cut and Create die, so that's in the coral as well. So those colors are all listed in the description down below of this video. And I really love the embossed effect on that. It's just beautiful. And this is the best thing about Cut and Create dies. You don't have to foil. You can use it straight away in your die cutting machine. So now I'm creating a background using YUPO paper. This is a 5x7 white YUPO paper. I will be trimming this down a little bit slightly so it goes onto my 5.7 cardstock. I'm using the felt applicator, the blending solution, and 2 of the colors of alcohol inks, and these are the pearlized alcohol inks. I'm using ALCHEMY and also Apple. These need to be shaken because the alcohol pigment does float down to the bottom of the bottle, so they need to be shaken before use. So I'm dabbing a little bit of the blending solution onto the felt applicator, and also a little bit on the paper, the YUPO paper, and then I'm just popping a little bit of dots over with the green and yellow pearlized alcohol ink over my felt applicator. So when I dab this all over my YUPO paper, you'll get a speckled effect, and as you're dabbing and placing those colors onto the YUPO paper, is reacting and changing all the time. I really love this effect. It's a very subtle effect, and it's a great technique of using YUPO paper, alcohol inks, to just give a very soft look. And that's what I wanted to do to create a nice background for my card. So once I've finished creating this background, you need to completely let this dry. It's really important before you start stamping and before you do any design work on this, is you need to have it really completely dry. But before I did some stamping, I wanted to create a bit of a circle effect. This is the effect I love doing with YUPO paper and alcohol inks, is creating like a bit of a sun or a little bit of depth into the YUPO paper design. So what I have done here is that I've actually cut out a circle with a circle die onto some cardstock, and with that I've created a bit of a stencil. You could use a stencil behind it. This will give you the same technique, and using a baby wipe I'm just slightly gently removing some of that alcohol ink so it creates a bit of a nice ombre effect. I really love this effect, and I've done it with stencils and I've also done it with die cuts and punches. I now want to talk to you about this new stamp block that's arrived very soon from Couture Creations. These are great tools for stamping. There are 5 different sizes. They are marked in centimeters and in inches. The grid marks are in inches and also in centimeters. This one here is a really great size for all your large stamps. The long one there is great for border stamps. This one here is great for sentiment stamps, and this square one is great for all our little mini stamps that we have. But the most versatile one is this one here. I think this is a great size for lots of different size stamps. So basically you just place your stamp onto the stamping block and you ink it up. Now I'm using the brand new alcohol ink Stays in Place by Couture Creation. This is a small mini one. It's a matte jet black, and this is a great ink on all your non-porous surfaces, for example YUPO paper, because I'm actually stamping on YUPO paper. Now the best thing about these inks is that they are also, you can use them on porous surfaces as in paper, but I'm using it here now on YUPO paper. It does take a while to dry. It's not going to be smudge proof straight away. You need to let it sit and let it completely dry. It takes a few minutes because it is a solvent based ink. It is on a porous, non-porous surface. It's not an absorbent paper. It's YUPO paper, so it does take time to dry. When you finish stamping with the alcohol ink Stays in Place ink pad, always replace the clear film plastic shield over the ink pad and the lid when you're not using it. And we also recommend is to wipe off any excess ink on all your stamps. If you find that there's still a little bit of ink on your inks, we have the stamp cleaner, and this is a great tool for using on great cleaning tool. You can use it on many surfaces. I just place a little bit on my baby wipe and then just dab it over the stamp and just dry it off, and that will clean off your stamp. It's a very good tool. It's an all-purpose stamp cleaner. So I'm going to let that dry now. So once that is completely dried, I placed it on some cardstock. I added the framed cut and die image with some foam tape to give it depth, added all the little elements on my card, and that's my beautiful card. This will be great, as I said, as a shaker card if you wanted to make it as a shaker card. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you've inspired you to look at cut and create dies in a different way, that they don't have to be foiled. They can be used with pigment inks and stamped through and cut through your die cutting machine. I have all the list of all the products that I've used in this card in the description below. Please visit the Couture Creations blog and all social medias, and also my blog and Instagram account for more details. If you have any questions, please leave your comments in the section below. Thanks for watching. You have a great day. Bye for now.